All right, my friends, welcome to episode 97 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I am the Professor Larry, and over there is Anthony the Dev. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. The developer.
The developer. You are post-launch developer right now, right?
I am post-early access launch.
Oh, okay.
So it's different. There's still a lot of work to be done, but it feels good. The game's out there. Space Tyrant, for those who are listening, it's on Steam. It's out. People are playing.
Got some pretty positive reviews.
Got positive reviews from people that are playing it. We've sent out a lot of stuff to different streamers and smaller press at the moment. Slowly ramping up our marketing. Bigger push will be full release, but we want to get a good chunk of people in early just so that we can work on balance, which people are already finding balance issues, which is great. Because it's really hard to test a game like this whenever you've been playing it a year and a half plus.
Right.
And you're like, I don't know. I find the game easy, but clearly people don't find the game easy. So that just comes from knowing a lot of intricate strategies.
That's interesting, because I would think that they would complain that they're finding things are too easy, but they're complaining that things are too difficult for them.
There's definitely... They feel like there are certain places that the game spikes way too much difficulty-wise. So I think we managed the first... Because it has ratings, difficulties for different missions you're going into. I feel like the 1 stars and 2 stars are right. Like, they're fairly easy. You shouldn't have a problem with it. But 3-star and up 3-star is what we consider the like standard challenge of the game, and it's hard for people. I haven't lost a 3-star in 6+ months. Right. Like, it's just, I'm like, no, I can do this. It's not that difficult.
Right, but to be fair, it's your game.
Yeah, exactly. It's the realization that I've been playing it a lot, and I know what to expect, and I know some tricks, basically, like optimal play strategies that don't come out until you've played it a fair amount, and you start noticing, like, oh, if I do this in this order, it works out a lot better for me. So
I always found that with stories that I was writing, like there would be some plot twist or some hook or some weird thing, and then my readers basically would say, I don't get this, I don't understand that. I'm like, how do you not understand this? But it's because I've spent hours and hours and hours writing it, and I know all the backstory in my head when I couldn't separate that from what was on the page. So
so it's good to be in early access and have fresh eyes and people who have paid for it, who are invested in it and want to make it better. So it's been good. We're really excited. So,
well, if the audience is interested, it's Space Tyrant. It's in early access on Steam, and right now it looks like a 10% discount.
10% discount until Wednesday.
Cool.
Our launch discount. So
a couple more days.
Yeah,
get it for $17.99.
And I had a bet in the office. Not a bet, but we were trying to get an idea of like, when would the first review come in, negative review that would come in and say it costs too much. It's not worth $20. We haven't got anybody saying that.
Well, now you will.
Maybe. There's been people on the forums going, like, it's $20. This is well worth $20.
Awesome.
And I'm
That's
like,
really good.
That is great, because I expected with Steam users and everything that you always want more for less.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not quite mobile in that way, is it? Like, I feel like $20 is really good price point for indie games. Like Pyre, I'm looking right now from Supergiant, is same price as yours. $20 with a 10% discount. And
who knows? I feel a lot of people on Steam really focus on how many hours they can put into a game.
Yeah.
And you can put a lot of hours into Space Tyrant.
Looking for dollars per minute.
Yeah. So we'll see. It was a good feeling, though. So, yep. Right now, 10% discount. Pick it up if you want it. It will be there through early access. And we'll be releasing, hopefully, we won't be in early access for years. I know that much. I think 6 months, six months max is what we want to do, unless there's some really good reason to go longer than that. But we have stuff planned out, and that seems about right. So end of this year, probably beginning of next year, be out of early access.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, congratulations. And
Thank
this
you.
episode, we're talking about some other games that are, I guess, it's not really early access, but there's Destiny 2 beta that we're going to talk about. We both put some time into that. And then we've got some Pokemon Go shit show to talk about.
Of course.
And a couple other shit shows to talk about. And then what we're playing. So let's get right into the Destiny 2 beta. I played it last night, and you played it, I think, today, right?
Today, this afternoon. It didn't take that long.
Yeah. What did you play?
I played the intro story, and then I attempted the strike.
Okay, but you didn't finish it.
Nope.
What stopped you from finishing it?
Dying.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah. So, it was the last boss.
Yeah. Okay, so you got to the boss.
Just swarmed.
Okay.
And
your team kind of just dropped out, or
they were not interested.
Yeah. Okay.
We died once, and then they bailed. So I was like, okay.
Really? Died once?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh man, must have just got lucked out with a really good group. We were just reviving each other and pushing forward together, and one guy was like way better than the rest of us, and the rest of us were okay, I guess. So let's talk about the campaign first. I guess we've seen this campaign played.
Yeah.
I guess at least once from E3 or whatever. But what were your thoughts about that initial campaign?
Meh. I really was. Yeah. I was super annoyed anytime Nolan Bot would talk.
Oh, okay.
It's just terrible dialogue.
It is bad.
It's really bad. I'm like, just take this stupid bot out of the game. Like, make it shut up. Like, it doesn't... When it was Dinklage or Nolan, it doesn't really matter. It's like, I'm like, it's not the person saying it. This is just not good dialogue. It's very just huge exposition. It's not... They try to add humor to it, and I don't really find it funny.
Nope.
I'm that annoyed me every time it chose to speak up.
Just before
the Cabal, I don't find the Cabal that interesting of an enemy.
Yeah, they're not. Before you, let me go back to Dinklebot real fast, or Nolanbot or whatever.
Yeah,
I think you really nailed it with the exposition. It's just like so much telling, just so much telling. That's just bad writing. It really is just bad storytelling. And that's what makes me not like it either.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, it's just kind of exemplifies. It's one of the things I wanted to be fixed for Destiny 2, and they just aren't fixing it.
Right.
Like, that's how I felt playing through that initial campaign. I was like, okay, I should feel like this should be just crazy epic and insane, and I never really got that feeling. Like, some of the set piece stuff was interesting, but it's still, now I'm back on an alien ship, and I'm going through corridors. Right. And it was just kind of the standard stuff, and I'm realizing I'm just like, maybe I just burnt myself out on Destiny 1. Like, when it was super grindy. Like, loot caves, and then also doing loops, just trying to get resources. So I was doing loops on Mars, like in a specific spot, and just killing tons of Cabal. Yep. I think that ruined Destiny for me. I was really thinking hard about it, and I'm like, man, I think that, like, when it was especially grindy, and I put a lot of hours into it when it was like that.
Yeah, it just wasn't rewarding. I did the same thing. I was looking for, like, some sort of spy. I don't remember what it was. Some sort of thing on Mars. And I just kept doing a circle over and over and over again. It's just like, this is not... What am I doing? This is not at all fun.
I saw that. And then, like, now I go to it, I think that's actually kind of, like, tainted my view of playing the game.
Yeah.
Like, I can't... And I'm thinking, I'm like, people are talking about the story. I'm like, I can't remember the story of the Taken King. Like, I have no memory of...
There was Oryx, I think. Oryx. Then that's all I remember.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. Like, I remember I didn't know the name of the big bad. You're right, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Oryx.
But I don't remember the storyline of it. Like, I don't remember why you're doing what you're doing in it. What's going on. Like, you're just fighting whatever enemy they are. And so, really, the campaign-wise, I was really wanting this, like, first mission to, like, show me that you are going to give me a, like, super compelling story. And I guess the Traveler getting the light being taken away could be, but this intro thing didn't do it for me.
Well, I feel like if you're a person who either didn't really care about Destiny story, even though you played it, or you didn't know anything about Destiny, like, this does nothing for you because, it seems like everything is based on nostalgia and foreknowledge of, like, what the Traveler is, why it matters, what your light is, like, the tower where you're fighting this opening mission. I actually really didn't know where any of that stuff was until I got to the sweeping robot and then out to the front. Yep. Otherwise, I didn't recognize really any of it, even though I probably put like 50 hours into that game. It's not a place I really paid much attention to.
There was that. You get through there. Oh, they really feel like they're trying to make you care for Ikora and Cade
Ikora.
and Titan dude. I can't ever remember his name.
Shax? No, not Shax. Zavala.
Yeah, and I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Like, I never felt really, like they really want you to, like, emotionally connect with them and be like, they're asking you for help and you should care. And I just don't care about these characters.
That's kind of what I mean by relying on people caring about the stuff from Destiny 1. If you didn't, like, they're trying to build on that, but if you don't care initially, there's not much to hang. There's not much schema really there emotionally. And the same thing with Dinklebot or Nolanbot. This is your companion for most of the game, and I don't give a fuck about that thing. Like, I don't have any connection to it at all, which sucks. And you and I are both players, I think, that enjoy characterization and story, along with some good gameplay, of course. But I think we're both finding that lacking. And
I'll get it. Like, the gameplay is good.
Yeah,
it's really great gunplay. It always has been. Original Destiny was great gunplay. Like, I'll never fault Bungie for that. So, like, I mean, playing through the Strike was fun too. Had some interesting mechanics. I still feel like they rely a bit too much on the swarm you with lots of guys. Mm-hmm. Like, that seems to be a standard fallback for them of, how do we make this more difficult? Well, you have the boss, and what if there were like a dozen other guys? I just remember that a lot from the original Destiny as well. Like, oh, that's the battle. Okay. So the Strike, while like getting to that boss was pretty interesting in a lot of ways. The actual boss, I wasn't that
it was a big bullet sponge.
Yeah, it was a bullet sponge. Holy crap!
It took us, I think, 25 minutes to take him down.
Oh god!
And the thing that was interesting about that was, I guess, the floor kept falling, and you kept going to different areas, and he changed guns every once in a while. Yeah. But it was really, it was anticlimactic for me because I really liked the rest of the Strike. I thought it was like one of my favorite things I've done in Destiny, just because I think they were trying to take some of the raid elements, like the really unique platforming and just weird stuff. It wasn't just straight corridors. It was weird platforming and going through these like portals and going through this mining area. Like, it was really interesting. And then the boss fight was not.
It was just a boss fight. Like, it felt there were plenty of bosses in Destiny and its expansions that were exactly like that. Mm-hmm. It's just them. It's a very tried and true thing that they do, but it's not selling me on the game. Like, it's not like, man, I want to keep doing that.
Yeah,
I want to rinse and like, because you know the game's going to be about repetition.
Absolutely, you're going to run that thing 10, 20, 30
and I'm
times.
Like, I don't want to run it that much. I want to beat it once and be done. Like, it's because of that. It's sad that they put all that work in to make it interesting getting there, and then you're there at this boss, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and the only reason that I really still stayed engaged with it was because of my team. Yeah. We were really working together well, and I was really interested in helping them, and just, I don't know, I thought we had a good synergy. But if I had a shitty team like you did, where it's just feel like you're just pumping bullets in something, that would have killed it. But I'm hoping to see more strikes like that. Like, that's except for the boss. Just, I feel like they hid their best stuff in the raids, which 50% of us never even attempted. So it's nice to see some of those smart ideas kind of coming forward so other people can play them.
Yeah.
And then I promptly deleted it. I didn't care about the farm today. I didn't do multiplayer. And I kind of walked away. A lot of people are saying it's more Destiny, which is totally true. And I was thinking in my head, because I'm playing Splatoon 2 right now too, something that actually a Reddit user on our games posted, just like read my mind. Like, people are saying Destiny is like Destiny 1.5, but I don't see the same backlash against Splatoon. And I was kind of trying to think about that dichotomy. But in terms of Destiny, like, it being more Destiny, it's not necessarily a bad thing if you really liked the first Destiny. But for those of you who didn't,
it's not going to convince you to play it. Like, it doesn't make me go, like, I look at it, I'm like, I might play through it one time for the story, maybe.
Right.
But that's, and story I put in quotes because I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to be a strong story. But I don't have a lot of, like, finishing this, I'm like, I don't have a lot of drive. Like, I need to go play this. Like, if I had a group of people, maybe, like, that's what it would take, would be, like, a strong group of friends that say, hey, this is the game we're going to play.
Right.
But there's so much else for me to play that I really enjoy, that I get a much more enjoyment out of than that. which I don't like. I don't want this to come off I'm ragging on Destiny, because it is a beautiful game. It plays really well. Clearly, a lot of people play this game and really enjoy the game and get hooked into its loops. It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, and for me, it's a crowded year, and
you have a kid.
Yeah, actually, and that's what I was thinking. Again, comparing to Splatoon 2, the multiplayer aspect of Splatoon 2, the rounds are 2 or 3 minutes. Like, pretty good odds that I could start and finish one. Versus this Destiny thing, like it's a pervasive online environment, and you do these strikes and you're locked in for like half an hour to 60 minutes, and that's not sustainable with a kid. Like, this is not something I could do.
That's why I stopped playing WoW.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't do it. I can't. And I mean, that's roughly WoW dungeons were about a half an hour, 45 minutes, but I can't commit to that when I don't know if my kid's going to actually like wake up early from a nap or something. I'm like, and I don't want to be the dude that just like, sorry, gotta go. Kid's awake.
Well, that was going to be me last night because I was doing the strike, and I'm like, I played through the campaign. It was probably an hour, I think. Yeah. And then it was later at night, and I was seeing if my kid was going to wake up or not, and she wasn't. I'm like, okay, well, I'll start the strike, and we'll see if I get to finish it. Because obviously, if my kid wakes up, I'm walking away from the game because I'm taking care of my kid. And that's just being the guy that bails on your team, which sucks. So I really can't. I realized I can't commit even like 20 minutes to something that I can't pause. Yeah. Like I guess I'm either in single player games for now, or games like Splatoon 2, which is like a 3-minute commitment. And then you can, or even like a Rocket League thing, like a 5-minute thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's a crowded year. It was so weird when I booted it up. I just felt so much nostalgia because it is the first game I played on PS4. Like, it's the reason why I bought a PS4, which is super weird. I just bought into the hype. And I really liked, I don't know, playing with you and Travis and kind of having that experience together. And then we kind of all bounced off. Well, you and I did. Travis didn't. He put so much time.
He went all in.
He sure did. And I felt those pangs again. And I think eventually I will play the campaign. Like, I don't think I cannot play the campaign. But I'm not that interested.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel the nostalgia. I really like the look of Destiny. I like the designs. I like the character design. I like the ships. There's a lot that really draws me there from its look and feel. But I'm not going to be playing it enough to do strikes again, and I will probably never raid. That's for sure. Like, my life just cannot fit around a raid schedule.
No, definitely not.
So I'm what's the point of me really playing this beyond getting through the story and being done? Like,
well, and that's the thing that burned me about Destiny 1 is that I never did a raid, and so I never did the best part of the game. So it's going to happen again. I'm not going to play the best part of the game. So do I really want to buy in?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. This is the playing. This is like, for people that like Destiny, this is Destiny, and you will still like this. If you have a hard time with Destiny 1, or kind of feel like you finished that or got your fill on that, this isn't going to change your mind. Like, this, yes, it's Destiny 2, but it is Destiny through and through.
Right.
So,
for better or for worse.
Yeah. So, well, they got what, 5 weeks?
September 8th, September 6th, something like that.
5 or 6 weeks, and then it'll be out. So,
I'll be playing Rabbids Kingdom Battle, so I won't be.
I'll probably check out the PC beta as well, to see how that feels. But
I bet it's going to feel good.
Yeah,
I mean, because the gunplay is good, so on the PC it's going to feel even better.
Yeah. So
something. Yeah.
I guess with that, any final words on it?
No, I was just going to say, to move on to something that doesn't feel good at all, is Pokemon Go Fest was up this weekend in Chicago, and it was a shit show.
Pokemon shit show.
There were like tweets of people standing in line outside, couldn't even get in. Like 75% of the people were still outside. The connectivity issues, they couldn't even play Pokemon Go, which is why they were there.
Yeah, because wasn't there special events going on there? Like special timed, like basically raid style, the group working together to unlock like legendary Pokemon.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I was like, this is just horrible. So horrible. It sounded like they're going to refund everyone's tickets, maybe? Yep.
They said they're going to refund people's tickets and give them like $100 worth of stuff in Pokemon Go. The CEO of Niantic came out and talked about the connectivity issues or whatever, and they're just booing him. They wouldn't even listen to him. Just, I mean, you play this game, I didn't, but from the buzz that I hear, like different podcasts and stuff I listen to, is that just such a good opportunity that was kind of squandered by mismanagement of the app.
I would say that. It's hard to say that, yes, it's probably mismanaged, but there's still 65 million people playing this game a month.
Right.
So
that's true.
Maybe it could have still been 100 million, but 65 million is still magnitudes higher than any other game.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous the number of people that play this game.
Right.
This is just stupid because they should have known better. Niantic.
Right.
Like, why are they relying on cell networks here? Like, they know this event's going on. Create their own Wi-Fi network there. Bring in the Wi-Fi hardware just so that you're providing a solid internet connection to all these players.
Yeah.
There's just, I was like, man, you know this is going to be big. You have the money. You're clearly planning this from enough time out. Just do it right. This is pretty much seems like the worst that could have happened. Worst possible thing for them.
Absolutely. And just a PR nightmare for that game.
Yeah.
That sucks. It really sucks.
No Pokemon to catch in this 3-mile line.
Right. Yeah.
At least if they can get in the game and they're waiting in line, at least throw them a bone and give them something to do while they wait.
Right. Nope. It's all inside. Oh my god. Seems mismanaged. Ugh.
Yeah.
Event plan. It's on the order of magnitude of that Smart Fire or Fryer. What the hell was that thing where the Ja Rule and someone else they bought an island?
Oh yeah, the Fire Festival that never actually happened, and all these rich kids got stuck on an island with like nothing.
Like they paid for these huge meals and it ended up being like a nasty piece of bread with a wilted piece of lettuce.
The guy who was organizing that's actually getting prosecuted now. So
good.
Yeah. This isn't the first time he's pulled something kind of like this. So they
he'll get his.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's not Pokemon Go Fest isn't as bad as that, but they definitely mismanaged prepared for something completely different than what was actually going to happen. So
yeah. Well, if we're lucky, the person who was in charge of this whole Pokemon Go thing will roast in hell. Speaking of hell, that was a terrible segue. Sorry,
that was a good segue. To Doom,
the 666 update, which seems great for people and it's going to piss other people off. You want to kind of explain that? Yeah.
So Doom, with this update, makes all DLC free, changes multiplayer progression completely. I've never played the multiplayer progression, so I don't really know completely all it changes on that. Mm-hmm. And it drops the price of the game to $14.99 with all DLC.
Crazy.
Yeah, there was a season pass though that cost $40 to get that DLC. And as far as I can tell, reading, there wasn't anything given to people that might have a season pass. This is just for new people, awesome. $15 for what I hear is one of the better games from last year.
Right.
Shooters.
Which other people paid $100 for last year with the game plus the season pass. And I guess you'd say like, well, you got to play it for a whole year more than other people. Like, yeah, I guess that's true, but
this isn't like a Game of the Year edition or anything. I mean, seriously, the game's $15 now.
Yeah.
What this isn't. That's just to me going never play full retail. This is crazy.
Well, in the last year, we've really seen that, like, just price drops like crazy. Like, it really pays just to wait. Like, I bought Doom 8 months ago on PS4 for $20.
Yeah.
From Amazon, the physical, which I kind of wish I would have waited because I think it's a better game to play with a mouse and keyboard than a gamepad, but it's still a solid game. But the multiplayer, I played the multiplayer a little bit. I didn't really like it.
Yeah,
but I'm not a big fan.
So either way, it feels great that they're still supporting and doing stuff for this, but I could only imagine that anyone that shelled out for that season pass is feeling kind of burned now. And maybe this will be the start towards the death of the season pass, which is, I feel like, slowly happening.
Well, there's a couple other games that are dropping them too. I can't remember.
Titanfall 2.
That's it, Titanfall 2. But even one more recently. But yeah, I agree that I think people are realizing that the season pass model maybe is not making them as much money as something like Titanfall 2, where you kind of get a lot of the content, but then the cosmetic stuff is what people pay for, and you have the whales that are paying for that, and it kind of pays the bills for everybody.
Yeah, and then you're not fracturing the user base with different
map packs or whatever.
So yeah, we'll see. But it was something that kind of just didn't sit completely right with me on this news.
Yeah.
But it means I might pick it up at some point. So, because $15, why not?
It's a good campaign with a great soundtrack if you like metal.
It's true. Another thing of people not learning their lessons or going backwards on what they've done before.
Blah.
Is, have you tried this? The chat for Splatoon 2 on the Switch?
No, I don't need it.
I love this picture of the mess of wires. It's so ridiculous.
You need a wire going from so the Switch audio, you need to get into your headset. You need the audio from the voice chat from your cell phone into your headset. So you have two different wires, one from the headset, one from the Switch going into your headset or your headphones. And then you have to have the Switch, the Splatoon 2 app on totally constantly. If you close it at all, you lose your chat.
On the phone.
On the phone. If you get a text from somebody, you lose your chat. Like, seriously, nothing else can be running. And it can't minimize. It can't run in the background. It's got to be screen on the whole time. So then you're probably also running a battery pack to make sure your phone lasts. And this picture you sent is basically comparing 2006 Metroid Prime Hunter on Nintendo DS, where the voice chat was just the DS.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like, I
have no clue what the hell Nintendo's doing. Like, what didn't they put in the Switch that needed to be in the Switch? Like, does it not have a mic anywhere on it? Does it not have mic support?
No.
Like the headphone jack doesn't have, or the jack doesn't have the 3-ring support, so that like this is dumb.
This is very
super dumb. Like,
this is a convoluted
I love the Switch, and that's great. I'll use it as a single player thing, but I don't understand. This just looks at me. I'm like, this of course would come out of Japan, and I don't like. Is this stuff not really important in Japan? Like, I don't know. Recently, like, does this people just not think or care about multiplayer in Japan?
Right, like because if I feel like Japan is maybe a more mobile culture, so they'd want to play on the go, and this is untenable on the go. Like, this is
I know.
No, it doesn't work at all.
The phone with a special clip to the controller with the phone sitting there, and to the headphone, like with the Switch now sitting and like on its kickstand as its own screen. Like, this is just dumb.
Well, thank God I don't care about talking to people in this like game, and it's kind of like Nintendo proving the point. Like, well, no one cares about voice chat because like I don't care enough to do all this shit. Like, if I could just plug in, I'd probably do voice chat because I was playing with a guy that Maniac or Nindy Spotlight is the handle he goes by usually, and it would have been cool to talk to him because we were wrecking shop together. But I'm not going to go through that convoluted mess to do it. It's just so stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb.
But I keep thinking, and silver lining maybe, or an easy fix, I guess I should say, because the Joy-Con come off. Like, imagine them doing like a Joy-Con 2.0 where you have a headphone jack, where you have a microphone jack. Like, just make the new Joy-Cons do those things, and you don't have to change the Switch at all. Yeah. Just the Joy-Cons and the software, I guess.
Cross fingers that maybe that will happen.
I mean, people are just like, this is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Yeah, people are really pissed.
Yeah, I can understand. It is not an actual solution for voice chat.
Right.
It is totally just something they just left out, and now they're trying to figure out how to hotfix it in. And I don't think making a mobile app is the right way to go. Yeah, no, I agree. Dumb. Just do it all in the console. Yeah. Speaking of something not dumb, now that we've got through our dumb news. Yeah, it was a lot of dumb news in a row. Telltale, man. So this is right before Comic-Con. There was some scuttlebutt that there was going to be an announcement of The Wolf Among Us 2, and then Telltale was like, no, we're not doing that. We're doing other stuff. So people got a little sad. But then there was the announcement where they are doing The Wolf Among Us 2. And God, have you played that game? I have not. I've heard because it's based on Fables, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to play that.
It's my favorite Telltale series. It is so good. And I'm so excited there's going to be a season 2. It's the first Telltale game I ever played, and it was just it was still the best. It's the best. It's like the characterization, the writing, the choices really kind of matter. So that's happening. That's going to come out in 2018. And then we've got Batman season 2, which crazily enough is just about to launch.
Yeah.
So they announced it, and it's coming out beginning of August or end of August, something like that.
They kept that one quite hidden.
Yeah, I mean, the ending of the first one, you knew there was going to be a sequel, but I didn't know it was going to be so soon. Yeah, exactly. And the Batman one was actually really good too. Probably, top 3 for me is Wolf Among Us, Batman, and Tales from the Borderlands. But a lot of people
you got me Tales from the Borderlands. That was pretty funny.
Did you finish it?
I don't know if I finished it or not. I definitely finished 2 of the episodes.
Oh yeah,
I should go back to it. It was funny as hell though. God,
yeah, it's
the writing
super
is so good. Which I assume they wrote it all themselves, or I didn't know if they had any input from Gearbox.
I don't think they did. I think that Gearbox had kind of do your thing.
Okay, because they matched tone so well.
Yeah, it's so good. And then other people really like Walking Dead. I don't like Walking Dead as much, but they announced Walking Dead season 4, which will be the last Walking Dead season from Telltale. So we've got Batman, Walking Dead, and Wolf Among Us, which is 3 real heavy hitters for Telltale. Yeah. So no Game of Thrones, unfortunately.
I wonder if they're done with that for the time being.
Maybe. People didn't really like the first one, and I think I did because I love the series, and love the show and whatever else.
It might be just hard for them to do that. That one might be one of the harder ones to do.
Yeah.
Because it still takes place in continuity, right?
It does.
They're trying to fit it into continuity.
That's right.
And that probably doesn't offer a lot of freedom, I would say.
Well, and they have to do another one. I mean, they don't have to, but they ended the first season on a cliffhanger. Like, you've made a choice that impacts the next season, so I kind of like to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, just a quick aside, there was a blog post from George R. R. Martin today or yesterday, probably today. Did you see it?
I did.
So he's doing his GRM Marillion, basically his fake history of the Targaryen kings. It's a 2-part book coming out next year or the year after that. And he said that Winds of Winter probably won't come out before that.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 2019, 2020 for Winds of Winter. And the last book came out in 2011. So the series is going to be done before we get the next book.
Oh, yeah. Easily. I already knew that. So. It's just how it's going to be. And you know what? Some people get really angry over it. I'm like, you know what? I've waited so long already. I don't care that much anymore. After waiting today, a decade for Tyrion's storyline to continue.
Yeah.
I was like, that was the limit where I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. I can handle this. When the book comes out, I'll read it and that'll be great. But until then, the TV show is probably going to finish the story for me. I can have some grasp of finality to the story and move on and read the book when it's time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And today I was just like, fuck it, I just don't care anymore. I really don't care anymore. I'm fine with the show finishing it. I'm just going to be pissed when the show does a surprise that we weren't able to figure out. Because so far everything that's happened that's not in the books, you could figure out that was going to happen. But
yeah, the last season's going to throw some stuff in there, and even this season might throw some stuff in there that's going to blindside everybody.
Right, absolutely. It should. That's what the show's all about. So I assume that it will.
But yeah. So it will come out at some point. Good to know.
Well, let's get into the stuff that we're playing. I got to get down to my kid pretty soon. So let's get in that last section. I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I put about another 5 or 6 hours into that game. And all I got to say is, fuck Service. Service. There is a quest where you go and have to kill this Service guy. It's called some other Darkspawn in the Western Approach.
Oh, it's the Western Approach. Okay.
Yeah. And it's apparently been a bugged quest for years. But I got there and found him finally. It took me forever to find him and start to kill him. And I got him down to a sliver of health. And then he started walking away. But we were on the second story of this castle. So he started walking away into the sky. And he just walked away through the sky toward the sun. We couldn't get him. So I reloaded my save. He wasn't there. He was gone. I can't get him back. So I can't finish that quest.
I don't remember what that quest even was. So
it's just a side quest. No, it's okay. It's just kind of annoying because kind of a completionist. Like I feel like I can't move on unless I finish that, and it's so dumb because there's other things to do. So I just moved on to different games. So I played Destiny 2. We talked about that. And then the other 2 game that I played was Splatoon 2, which came out last Friday.
You've been playing a decent amount of that.
Yeah, last Friday. I guess it came up before our last podcast.
It did.
Oh, I didn't even talk about it last time. I don't think. It is so good. It is so good. I really like the first one, but I didn't put a ton of time into the first one. But I've put just a good amount of time into this game. It's perfect for having to get around because I can put it down pretty quickly. It's iterated on the first one pretty smartly. I think that the single player is made some revisions, added some new smart bosses, some just building levels around some of the new weapons has been pretty smart. And then the single player is super fun. I'm still not high enough level to get into the other modes. Right now I'm just doing the turf war, but the turf war is so fun. You know, the idea of just painting and whoever has the most paint. It's so fun. It is really, really, really good. So I'm happy to see that people are digging that game, and it's just a perfect summer game. Quick pick up and put down. Almost like the Rocket League thing, like the 5 minutes of fun over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's on my list for when I get a Switch.
It's well worth your time. So good. I'm glad I passed on ARMS because I feel like the online user base for ARMS has probably plummeted with this kind of game coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this game is just, it offers so much. I feel like ARMS looked kind of shallow. This is pretty deep.
That's really cool. So, I look forward to playing that.
Super fun. So you're playing a couple of big games?
Yeah. So still digging into Final Fantasy 12. I don't know how far am I in. Like, that's the thing with that game. I can't fully remember, and I spend so much time grinding and doing hunts and side things that I kind of get lost from the main storyline for large swaths of it. So
right.
I'm probably just under halfway through the story, maybe. I'd probably put 30-some hours into it. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I'm losing track. I have both job boards now, and it's amazing. So
all right. There's like so much
customization and like sitting there like this is a theory crafter's dream game. So
right.
Really loving that. But on Thursday, Diablo 3 started their season. So I dived in with the Necromancer, starting on the new season journey. Got the Necromancer to currently at 60. Over the last
Did you pop any of those trophies?
I did. I've popped one more. I have 2 more to get.
Okay.
One is have my skeletons killing elites, 500 elites, and I think I'm at like just over 250, so I'm just over halfway there. I have them killing elites or special monsters. And then the other one is using a specific skill to damage 40 monsters in 3 seconds. Which is really just I have to find the spot in the game or look up online where someone has found a good spot, and I just need to go there and just try to make it happen. It'll take some time, I'm sure, but those are the only 2. Once I finish that, and then I'll be back to 100% on that game.
Nice.
But seasons on console rule. They're great. I love it. Can't complain. That game just continues to provide hours of entertainment.
Yeah, that's a game that does really good job with updates. I know this one was a paid one, but a lot of them have been free.
Yeah, I think even without that, because what you paid for really was just the Necromancer. But they had patch 2.6 that offered up all the quality of life fixes and changes that they'd put in, and like the challenge runs and a number of other just different features. They redid like the Rift UI so that it's easier to do rifts now. All sorts of stuff.
Like, that's good. I found rifts hard to get into.
Yeah, no. I've been doing a lot of rifts right now. So
cool.
That's a great way to level. So
yeah. I really like them for that.
So Blizzard continues to just do really good updates for that game, paid or not. So
I purchased that when it came out, and I haven't even touched it yet. Obviously there's been a shit ton of stuff in my life, but in terms of game stuff, I haven't got there yet. Hopefully soon. Yeah. Probably not, but one day.
One day soon.
Yeah. Well, kids doing well. So I hear her crying right now, so I should probably sign off.
Sounds good.
I am at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. He is at Summer Speak on Twitter. We play games. He makes games, and we're happy to have you here. And we're narrowing in on episode 100, where we'll give away some free stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Some game related stuff for sure.
Yeah, and one last thing before we go.
Yeah.
Go check Space Tyrant on Steam.
Yes.
It's my game. It's out. You can pay money to play my game. I would appreciate it if you pay money to play my game.
And it's 10% off right now until Wednesday. $17.99, well worth it. It's a quick 4X game. We're quick in that you can play games in 35, 40 minutes.
Yep.
As opposed to like a Civ game, which lasts forever.
Yep.
So,
but you're just going to lose anyway. So, let's just be honest.
Spoiler alert. But this is totally true.
Yeah. Well, have a good night, sir. And
thank you. And I'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Have a good night.
All right. Talk to everyone. Bye.